All right, let's tackle the old Fiesta Bowl first. TCU, Michigan. Michigan's currently a 7.5-point favorite. Ted, you giving the Horned Frogs a chance? What do you think?
Absolutely, I give them a chance. I think that what TCU has offensively at the skill positions and team that up with a quarterback that could do what Max Duggan can do with his legs, it equals an offense that Michigan has not seen this year. And I know Ohio State has, an excellent quarterback and, an unbelievable group of wide receivers. But I think TCU's is better. And you throw a quarterback that can scramble in there and the 1-2 punch that they have at running back. I think that this offense is something special. Now, the question is, how many opportunities are they going to get? Michigan, the way they play football, I think they're going to line up and just try and run it right over the top of TCU, slow the game down, try to limit the amount of possessions that TCU's offense gets. But, if they can do some things and stop the run a little bit. I know that's the same thing that Ohio State tried to do, pile the box, force them to beat you through the air. And in that game, they were able to. I think the TCU is going to really give themselves a chance.
Yeah, and we're not really going to know if TCU's defensive line can hold up against that Michigan offensive line until this thing gets played, right? We're not going to know it until it gets played. And if they can do that, I think this is going to be a great football game. One interesting matchup along the line of scrimmage in this one. Dom Williams, that freshman nose tackle for TCU, who you and I both agree is going to be a hell of a football player. He's a true freshman, and he's going against arguably the best offensive lineman in the entire country, right? Oluwatimi, the center from Michigan. He won the Remington, and he won the Outland. The dude is a baller. So
Some
you got a
say
true
he's the best
freshman
football player in the country.
Yeah. He is legit. So that's going to be a fun matchup. This is something I've been thinking about. And I know JJ McCarthy is more talented, probably. Most people would say he's more talented than Max Duggan, but I feel like TCU has a QB advantage going into this game. I feel like Duggan's not going to flinch no matter what. He's seen every possible situation. He's going to be ultra confident. I just feel really good about Max Duggan coming into the game. Now, maybe McCarthy comes out and really plays well and he's slinging it all over the place and he's using his leg. Maybe that happened, but I kind of feel like the Horned Frogs have a QB advantage in this game. They certainly have an experience advantage.
Yeah, I think they definitely have a QB advantage. Not to say that gives TCU the overwhelming chance to win the football game. I think it's going to be incredibly tight. Not exactly sure how it unfolds, but I think Max Duggan definitely is the edge at quarterback, and maybe not even edge. I think he may be, at least in my opinion, a big step ahead at quarterback. But there's other places where Michigan is going to make up for some of that. I think TCU is going to be able to score a whole bunch of points, but I think Michigan is too. And I just don't know how many opportunities TCU is going to get at it. That's the one thing is I feel way better that Michigan's defense is going to find a way to settle in and get stops. I'm not sure about TCU's. Now, their defense won them some football games this year, but they didn't win them football games against a team like Michigan that can run it like Michigan can, that has an offensive line like Michigan does. So that's the real thing for me is I think TCU's offense is going to be just fine, but I don't know how many chances they're going to get, and I don't know how their defense is going to hold up.
I'm more intrigued by how TCU's defense holds up, and this is why. Michigan's got a hell of an offensive line, right? McCarthy can add in the running game. Donovan Edwards is a very talented back. They don't see this defense much in the Big Ten. They don't see the 3-3-5 and the way that the different guys can be the fitters in different spots. And where things are coming from. And it's weird. Like it changes the way you have to run the football. And it's odd to play against it. If you're not used to playing against it, then it can be a little weird. Like you can prepare for it in practice, but those guys are never going to run it as well as you're going to see it on game day. And I'm just interested to see if we see Michigan's offense look out of sorts at all in the running game, trying to block a scheme that they rarely see in the Big Ten. So I don't know. And this is also one interesting thing. Michigan, and credit to them for housing Ohio State in the fourth quarter the way that they have. But Michigan has not felt the pressure of a game that's come down to the last couple drives. And I feel like that's just what TCU, like that has been their entire existence this season. So if it gets into one of those situations where it's tight, like TCU is going to be comfortable. They've done that a lot. They've come back from behind a lot. Michigan hasn't done that. They just haven't had to. So I don't know. Pressure's a hell of a thing, man.
It is. TCU has played in incredibly tight, low-scoring games. They've played in tight, high-scoring games. They've played in overtime games. They've seen the gamut, right? They've seen the entire show. So, yeah. And here's the other thing, man, is sometimes experience matters. Michigan has been to the playoff. There's a lot that comes with this playoff. It's a circus, right? And I think there's an advantage of having been there before, but sometimes there's an advantage of not having been there before. And it's just your year. And everyone believes that it's your year, and everyone believes that you like great things are going to happen. So I don't know. I think it's by far the better matchup of the two.
Yeah. Explosive plays are going to be huge. They were huge for Michigan in that win over Ohio State. They've been huge for TCU offensively all season long with that passing game and with what Kendre Miller has done for them on the ground. But I'm going to pick Michigan to win the game. I will say I don't feel great about it, though. I know that's your line, but I don't. I don't feel great about it. In these matchups, I tend to lean on the team that I think has the better offensive line, and that's Michigan. So I'm going to pick the Wolverines to win it, but I think it's going to be a good game, man.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take TCU to win at 41-38.
Ooh, throwing out a score and everything. I love it. Look at you. TCU's better than a lot of people realize. I'm hoping. I really hope they play well. I really hope it's a great game. That'd be great for TCU, good for the Big 12 conference and all that stuff. So I just want to be entertained ultimately. All right,
I'm kind of the same.
Let's talk a little Peach Bowl. But first,
First Fidelity Bank is a full-service financial institution based in Oklahoma with tailored solutions for all your personal and business needs. Checking accounts, saving accounts, home loans, and much more. They do it all, whether it's online banking from your computer or mobile banking from your phone. Everything is stress-free with FFB. Making mobile deposits, paying bills online, and moving money to different accounts could not be easier. First Fidelity Bank provides free ATMs worldwide, making banking convenient wherever you are. They also give back to the community. FFB donates a total more than $500,000 to local charities and educational foundations. Make your life easier and go bank with First Fidelity Bank. Visit ffb.com for more information.
And if you are a whiskey or bourbon drinker, stop what you're doing, head to your favorite liquor store and buy some Balcones products. You got to grab some of Balcones Lineage Single Malt Whiskey. It was voted one of the top 20 whiskeys in the world by Whiskey Advocate, and you'll be shocked by how affordable it is. Also, you got to snag some of Balcones Baby Blue Corn Whiskey.
It's made for blue corn. That's the fancy corn.
And that is why it has won more than 25 awards. Last but certainly not least, you got to grab some of Balcones Pot Still Bourbon. Its big flavors make it the perfect bourbon to drink year round. Remember, Balcones Single Malt won the Best in Glass competition back in 2012, beating brands like Johnny Walker and Macallan. This stuff is the real deal, people. If you love great whiskey and bourbon at a great price, the Balcones products are the only way to go. The whiskey may be made in Texas, but the owners are from Oklahoma. To find a liquor store that has it, visit balconesdistilling.com. Peach Bowl, Ohio State, Georgia. Georgia is currently a 6.5-point favorite. I just feel like Georgia's a more talented, more physical version of Michigan, right? I know Ohio State's got a ton of talent, but Ted, I'm just going to have to see them hold up at the line of scrimmage on both sides of the ball before I believe it. I question the mentality in that program. I question their confidence after what Michigan was able to do to them on their own field in that fourth quarter. I know that they have nothing to lose. I understand that. I just think Georgia's better than them, man. I think they're more physical, more talented, man for man. So give me the dogs. You can talk me out of it if you got something, but I feel like we're on the same page here.
I'm not even going to try and talk you out of it. I'm taking Georgia. I think all the things you said, I agree with. Ohio State, they got it handed to them in their last football game against Michigan in their own stadium. Shut up, 100,000 people there watching it, and I just don't believe that they're a very confident team going in to play against a team like Georgia, who, I mean, you said it's just like this is just like a better version of Michigan, and I agree with that. And it's not like Ohio State doesn't know that too. So like I do question the confidence of the team, and they're going to show up, they're going to do their thing, and it's going to look like they're super confident. But I think deep down, there's some questions going on there, focused on themselves right now.
And this is going to sound stupid coming out, but I believe it. Like coming into this game, one team's got a quarterback that's going to be a top 5, top 10 pick. And one team has a guy that's going to be, maybe a 6th or 7th round pick. I feel better about Stetson Bennett at a quarterback coming into this game. I just think that dude is playing with an incredible amount of confidence. He knows exactly what he's supposed to do in that offense. He can use his legs. He's way more mobile than people realize. And he's been there, man. I feel like he sees it clearly. He's feeling great about everything. Like I would too if I had that much talent around me. But I feel better about Stetson Bennett than I do about CJ Stroud in this game. But there's no doubt Ohio State's got a ton of talent, man, especially offensively. There's no doubt. But I just think Ohio State's going to struggle to get that run game going much. I know Mayan Williams, I like him as a back, but I just think Georgia's defensive line is going to control things against Ohio State's offensive line. And Stetson, man, our boy Stetson, look how far he's come.
I know. We were laughing whenever he first took over for Georgia, and look who's laughing now. Dude's got a national championship. He's been overlooked ever since he's taken over that job, and is still overlooked right now. I mean, most people are going to be talking about CJ Stroud in this game, but I agree with you. The dude performs. His numbers aren't going to blow you away whenever you look at it overall throughout the season. But here's the thing. He doesn't have to have huge numbers. Georgia is not chasing like some offensive minded football teams like Ohio State and some others. Like they're chasing statistics for their quarterbacks. Right? That's what they're trying to do. They're trying to gain some clout and gain some whether recruiting advantage or whatever it is by having their offensive players go out and win big time awards. And, maybe Georgia will get into that at some point. But right now, they're trying to win championships. And that is a defensive team, and they play to that. So Stetson Bennett is not going to blow you away with anything statistically because that's not what they're trying to do. So, yeah, Georgia has to play a bad game and turn the football over a bunch for them to lose it, in my opinion.
Yeah. I think Ohio State's wide receivers, like they got to make a bunch of big plays, and they got the talent to do it.
Yeah,
they can do it, but they got to make some big plays. I don't think Georgia is going to come in with the same strategy we saw from Michigan. We'll see, but one other thing. That crowd in Atlanta, it's going to be like what the Sooners just went through here at the Cheez-It Bowl. That thing is going to be pro dogs. So I'm sure they'll have the silent count ready. But yeah, I like Georgia. I think I like Georgia big too. Like I think they
I
just may
think
punch them right in the face.
If Georgia, let's say they score a couple of early touchdowns and Ohio State's a little out of sync on offense and maybe Georgia goes up 14-0, look out, buddy. Look out for something like an avalanche of points and turnovers and all kinds of things to kind of pour in on Ohio State. But they've got a really talented team. They've got some good coaches. They'll have a chance, but I don't know. Everything's gonna have to go perfect for them.
Yep, I'm with you. All right, there's our obligated by law college football playoff preview.